The day started off with an absolute masterclass from Jasprit Bumrah, one of the best that we have ever seen in this Border Gavaskar Trophy, out of the many. But then the same old story. Same old story, you cannot bowl out the tail. Because from 91 for 6, you are like thinking, wow, India are coming into bat, half the target is going to be chased down, and we are going to see miracle at Melbourne. But no, the GOAT, Gary, Nathan Lyon 41, Scott Boland 10, 50 plus run partnership for the 11th wicket. You are now not only staring at the highest successful chase that you have done in Australia, that's now gone. You are staring at the highest ever successful chase in Melbourne in its history. 332 England had made in 1928. 96 years ago. And because of this now, whatever work you had done in the first 2 sessions of masterclass, Jasprit Bumrah's efforts truly were right up here. You've undone all that. You've undone all that in a very sorry display in the last 1.5 hours.
And that's, I think, one of the perennial problems that India have had across formats now, that failure to get rid of the tail in quick succession. And I think that basically has continued.
Failure to get rid of the tail, Sena country, result, where have we heard that story before? So now in Melbourne, all the optimism and energy aided. Now when you look at it, those 3-4 dropped chances. Yashasvi in particular will be like wondering, did I apply too much butter on my hands today?
I think his bad day in the field, it continued to get worse. I think he has dropped a total of 2 catches today. 3 in fact.
One more that at silly point he dropped.
Yeah.
Then, okay, that was a tough chance that Siraj couldn't hold on to. But Bumrah, apart from that, Siraj gave him support for the very first time. Apart from that, the same old issue. No backup. And you can't bowl the tail out. 2 things combined, 334 and still counting. Australia might not declare tomorrow. Half an hour more batting, frustrate them as much as you want, get them in 90 overs, blast the tail out, blast the entire Indian batting out. The weather is also fine, so don't hope for rain, don't hope for anything else. And in a way, this is the definition of a 50-50 day. But now it's slightly gone in favor of Australia at this point in time.
But don't you think that they should have declared 1 hour 40 minutes approximately left into the day?
No.
Going after more than 300. I think when they reached 300, they could have declared.
No,
because now the
no.
chances of a draw have increased according to
No, I'll tell you why. Because see, what is the strategy that Australia would want? We don't want to give even 1% chance to India. Why is that? Gaba 328, they could chase it down. Okay, they had 1.5 days to chase it. If you look at it, 3.5 sessions. Now they don't want to give them a single inch. The pitch is anyway not that conducive to stroke play anymore. Let's be very honest.
that's right. That's
it's
also
sluggish.
saying.
And at
Uneven bounce.
156 for 8, it was too risky. Nobody will declare. Australia have not just got to win the BGT, they are also looking at WTC.
I'm saying once they reach the 300 lead,
Too risky.
then
They don't want to give even 1% inch to India. And that is why bat, wear the bowlers out, frustrate them, psychologically frustrate them. You've kind of done that. Which is why a declaration was simply out of the equation. 90 overs tomorrow, 98, but I think Australia will want to bat as long as they want. And India are facing what Australia faced with Nitish Reddy yesterday. Unable to bowl the tail out. And that's why now looking at the current situation, initially my first plan of operation was, let's all wax lyrical about Jasprit Bumrah. Let's all wax lyrical because today he achieved something remarkable. The adrenaline, like how we would be excited to see a Kohli, Rohit in their peak. You just couldn't take your eyes off the screen when Bumrah was bowling. But the performance that Australia have put in, typical Australian grit, Pat Cummins yet again, and now Nathan Lyon.
I think how many times has it happened in the last couple of years that Travis Head hasn't really gotten past the double figure mark in a particular test match?
Lots of times.
Specifically in Australia.
Lots of times.
second time in this test match.
Gaba ka government second part. Out for a king pair. King pair he was out for. Now here, Travis Head on his birthday. Well, we want to wish him a happy birthday, but he won't be feeling good. 0 and 1. And I felt it. Yeah, Travis Head isn't looking the part. I think Bumrah is getting him out cheaply. Gets him out.
It's also, I think, because of his injury that he suffered in the Gabba test, Travis said.
But still, I mean, leaving a ball on judgment and getting out the way how it was. Two very, very soft dismissals. And that is why, but now we have to discuss this particular knock. Now, the floor is open, gentlemen, at this point in time. Are India's chances still good? Or as Shashwat said, is pointing out to a draw? Or are Australia bossing the Melbourne Test match?
Obviously, I think Australia are bossing the Melbourne Test match currently. If India had gotten out the last wicket, taken the last wicket, let's say, in the 66th or the 67th over, I think things could have been completely in favor of India for that matter. But the way this partnership is going, I think India would definitely be chasing anywhere around 350, and you know how your batting has really performed throughout the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Now, you have been reliant on the lower middle order to get the job done for you on not once, not twice, but obviously on multiple occasions. So that's where I think India will really have to bat out of their skin, and more importantly, I think it's going to be a career-defining innings for both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for that matter, because once again they have gotten an opportunity to make sure that question mark should not be raised on their test career, because this is going to be an ideal chance for them to make sure to actually they can shut down the critics with any of the good knocks that they can probably play. And if that does not really happen, then once again I think we will be bombarding them with all those criticism.
Harshit, what about you?
Well, the way I look at this is, again, it's a story that you said we've seen time and time again, India struggling to get rid of the tail. However, the one thing that I really am sad about here is that from the time that the day started, or the manner in which the day started, with Usman Khwaja being troubled with that sensational spell from Jasprit Bumrah this morning, it's a sorry story to see where things stand at the moment. Who has the edge? Well, at the moment, I would say Australia still have the edge. I think still India are playing catch up. They did a good job, but 300 plus, they still have one wicket. And just want to add to what Shashwat was saying earlier about maybe that declaration should have come in earlier. By no means are Australia taking that chance. Not just because of Gabba, but we've seen this Indian team go out there and want to make a statement whenever they're playing overseas. So they would have definitely gone for the target, and you know that you could see, in fact, I would say Australia took that bit of risk in Brisbane, but they were not going to do the same this time around in Melbourne, because you're not leaving 300 with an entire day to play out, plus a few more overs. You're relying on too much as far as conditions are concerned, and hoping that you're able to clean up India once again. You wouldn't have taken that risk now. You've seen some batters get into form now. Yes, in the sense that the partnership that you saw from Jadeja, Sundar, and then from Washington as well yesterday, Australia would not have taken a chance. And this surface has only started to misbehave a little now. If not misbehave, just aid the bowlers a little more. So no way was that declaration coming in, and I see them batting tomorrow as well for as long as they would want. If ideally they would want to bat, I think about half an hour, and then make India, chase whatever it'll be around 320, 330.
See, now the lead is currently 334.
34, 33?
34.
34.
334 is the lead.
So anything 350 plus, they may just declare. They don't even need to wait for that half an hour mark, I believe.
Nikhil? Or
I just want to
He's
know
speechless.
how's everyone doing. Shashwat, are you well?
Yeah.
How was the last 3-4 days been?
It's been very exciting. Up and down the test match has been. But clearly India has been playing catch up all throughout this test match.
India were playing catch up for the large part, but not the opening two sessions today. Today, the opening two sessions, you thought India have really put the hose under the pump, and those spells were breathtaking. Australia were rattled. Remember, they were 82 for 2. After that, they were 96.
91 for 6.
91 for 6. So that completely changed things, and you could not. This was, those first two sessions today were like, I didn't quite feel it this whole series the way that these two sessions made me feel. You didn't want to take your eyes off.
Exactly.
It is what it was. Such high quality
what
cricket.
have, subscribers been saying last 2-3 days?
Nitish Reddy, they've been questioning us a lot.
Nitish Reddy, good
Yeah.
point. Yeah, good point, and they deserve to, because we were really not.
No, but I think we were still correct as far as our analysis. No, because I think still, if you're playing him in the all round, I think now he's capable to play as one of the top 6 batters. Play him as a pure batter, but because of that, you cannot suffer your bowling.
No. See, firstly, I just want to say that not every time anything that is said is right. Unlike Shashwat, I am not a former cricketer, so I do get my predictions wrong. And if I did get Nitish Reddy prediction wrong, then that is absolutely fine. I mean, anything that is said here is an assumption based on the ability that one sees in a player. And oftentimes, even Sir Don used to be a selector, and even he got some of his selections right. So I don't think anyone knew more than Sir Don, but even he could get his selections wrong. Just ask Ian Chappell if you don't want to. So my point is that because a lot of people have been trolling us for Nitish Reddy thing. What is it? Is it a personal, vendetta we've had against him, that he, trolled us on social media or saw us and didn't give us an interview or something like that? None of that is there. Anyone who saw him play, I'm sure all of us felt as happy as any of you did when he got his 100. I think it was a proud moment. It is that 100 that has got India back into the test match. I'll get to the test match, but it is that knock. And I hope he goes on to have a great career. In fact, that is something that we've often said here on the platform, that in white ball cricket, I do see a very good career ahead of him. In test matches, most of us were of the opinion that you need to go with a specialist because there was a better chance. I repeat, the operative word is a better chance of him getting a regular batter getting 100 than him. Now people are saying that, see, you kept saying that he's a 30-40 player, he can't. It's not to say that he cannot get 100, but you look at the probability. It's not that Siraj will not get wickets, but the probability of a Bumrah getting wickets are higher. I'm not comparing anyone to Siraj or Bumrah. I'm just saying that every batter has the capability of getting 100. Now he's a top order batter, of course he can get 100. All top order batters are, but you're going to go with the best. Like, I mean, if you're, there's a reason they've not picked Sarfraz, because they, in their mind, now nobody knows right or wrong, but in the selection team's mind, Sarfraz is not suited to be getting 100s here. Now, hypothetically, let's say somebody gets injured and Sarfraz played one of the test match and got 100. So would that be a slap on the face of Rohit Sharma, Gautam Gambhir? Not quite. I think they never doubted it. They thought maybe a Jurel or a Nitish Reddy had a better chance of getting than Sarfraz. But there's never 100% guarantee as to who gets. So we only put the players you thought had a better chance because they had done it more consistently. This is Nitish Reddy's second first class 100. Yep. So just to let you know, there was nothing personal against him, but fantastic to see the 100 that he's got. And hopefully he can have a stellar career, but you'll have to now keep him as a batter. Again, you can't keep him playing as a
I think the whole why we had a problem, it wasn't about Nitish Reddy. It was just about the position and the combination you were playing. It was actually, you were just lengthening your batting and depleting your bowling. And that's exactly what you did with playing 3 all-rounders. And
but also
I think the problem was that if you played him as a pure batter, then I think it would have been the combination.
Let's be honest,
yeah, as a batter we would
100. So he did, credit to him.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, we're wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely, kudos to the guy who performed. I didn't think he could get 100, being honest. And that's why I thought that you go with a player who can get. Played rather well, played counter-attacking cricket, and that's why I say that kind of cricket suits him. Yes. He's not the grinder kinds. Counter-attacking cricket suits him. The conditions in Melbourne were such that he could play that, and he made full use of it, and kudos to him. Other batters didn't. In fact, I think a lot of top-order batters will be kicking themselves in these conditions. This was their best chance. Rohit Sharma should be kicking himself. This is his best chance to get some runs. But didn't happen. Anyway, coming back to the test match, because a lot of you said, I mean, I asked you guys how it was the last 2-3 days, and we're discussing where India ahead or not. But just look at the distance that India has covered. Day 1 of the test match, you guys felt that Indian cricket is underachieved. Day 2 of the test match, you felt that, this is the end of Indian batting or whatever. Today we are discussing that India has a chance of winning a test match, whether it is the least amount of all of that. So I think the distance that India has covered in this test match is absolutely incredible. Yeah. From day 1 where you were writing obituaries of Indian cricket to day 2 where you said the best possible result, could be rain or something like that to salvage a draw, to end of day 4 where we are now saying that all 4 results are still possible in this game. And I think that's the distance that this Indian team has covered. Let's be honest again, not a lot of us gave this Indian team too many chances in this test match, especially after almost 500 is what Australia got and the start that India had. From that point to being here where Australia are nervous not giving a declaring the inning because they know that there is a chance, to even a position, despite that, to even a position where India could have been favourites for a win had Australia been dismissed for 130, 140, which was a possibility. You were chasing 250 odd, right, whatever. And India would have gone in as the favourite to win this test match more than Australia. So I'm saying just look at the journey, forget this entire series, but just in this particular test match that the Indian team has covered. And if it is a draw indeed from here and you go to Sydney 1-all, I think this is going to be one of the finest performances by an Indian team in Australia.
Correct.
Anything that could go wrong has gone wrong for them in terms of form, team selections, everything. And you're still going 1-all to Sydney. If that happens, many a slip between the cup and the lip, but I'm saying if that happens. So I think overall, the strides that Indian team has made in this test match itself, incredible.
Yeah, it's just
This
like
is
the
also
Melbourne weather.
Yeah, it's
all on one day you can get all 4 weathers.
And it's
just
also
like that.
also shown the kind of potential that is there. Even if there are a lot of questions on this, that if 2 senior players sort of exit the test circuit together, then who's going to sort of fill up that vacuum? But I think that's not going to be a problem. I think these are signs of that as well.
No, but that's because actually, if you look at it, the one other common factor in this series has been the guys who performed well are either youngsters or the ones that are uncertain to be in the team.
Or Jasprit Bumrah.
No, I'm talking about with the bat. So either youngsters who are getting you runs, because they're just starting off, so the hunger is there, or people who are not sure of a spot in their 11, like a KL Rahul. So they're the one. The more established players, or the ones that were secured a spot in this lineup, have really not turned up. What that actually tells you is right. I mean, that if the transition has to happen, we sometimes get nervous what will happen, young Indian team, but don't be nervous. No, the youngster, whoever comes in, whether it's Jurel, Sarfraz, whoever comes in, and Padikkal, whoever your next in line comes in, I'm sure they'll do well. And I think Indian cricket is showing you that sometimes we get really nervous about where all big players have gone in the past. Yeah, Indian team is managed. And I think this tour will tell you that if indeed you have a few big retirements, it's okay. The youngsters will take forward.
There was never a problem with that. See, in every team, when the veterans go, it depends on how quickly they can transition. India do have backup plans. For example, when Tendulkar left, a Kohli stepped up. Now when a Kohli and a Rohit leave, how quickly the transition can happen, we don't know. There is a Shubman Gill, there is others, there is a Nitish Reddy, there are other youngsters, Sarfaraz is there, Jurel is there, Devdutt Padikkal is there.
I'm again not going to...
Perhaps, that might be your future turn when you look at it. We don't know how they are going to shape up, but there are certain individuals who can step up. But then, as you may then point out, where will the potential, can we see that potential? That is only if you get the proper exposure at that point.
It's not
I
going to
think
be
if you
very
have to-
easy. I think because again, the person we are talking about who's going to step up in place of a Virat Kohli, he himself is dropped at this point. So I don't know how smooth or how quick is that going to be. Maybe we are just, I think, just on the basis.
No, I'm
or
saying
what,
quick or no doesn't matter. They need chances to prove
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
No?
But
I'm
see,
just saying
with the
if you're gonna
Shubman
keep
Gill-
them sitting on the bench only, how will you know? I think still it was unfair to drop a Shubman.
Yeah, clearly.
So you have to play them to know. When
Yeah.
they step up or they will time when they will step up. Yeah, I mean, it won't happen immediately, but you got to
So
give them
see,
a chance.
we still have one more day left in. This is the first time, no rain, first time proper a test match is going 5 days. With all the action, with very limited rain delays that have
By the
happened.
way, just going back, the entire talk about the MCG pitch changing course and it's going to be this and the curator giving us all gyan and we are also buying into it. It's turned out to be the same Melbourne.
2011-12, that
Same,
period. Yeah.
same. I mean, the traditional MCG pitch. That's what it's turned out to be. So, I think they made those pitches only for Pakistan and South Africa to play. For India-
12 mm grass.
12 grass and whatever, a best strike
Sheffield
rate.
Shield also.
Best strike
There
rate
they
for
were.
fast bowlers after Perth, this, that, all those data we read last 2 days.
Bumrah it's himself, he called this wicket a Christmas gift for the batters.
But I think coming back to that topic, if you have to play 3 all-rounders ahead of a couple of established batters, I don't know, what does it do to the confidence of the likes of Shubman Gill, Sarfaraz Khan and Dhruv Jurel for that matter. I think in case of Shubman Gill, I even gave an example of Ravichandran Ashwin in 2014 tour of Down Under, that he was dropped for the Adelaide Test and India preferred Karn Sharma. The problem with Ashwin was that he wasn't really able to get his lengths correct as far as the Australian pitches were concerned, and during that test only he went back to the nets with the likes of Ravi Shastri and all, worked on his game, and then he played the next 3 test matches of the BGT. In case of Shubman Gill also, I think one of the technical flaws that has been exposed as far as his performances in the Sena countries are concerned is that he's playing with very hard hands as far as the defense is concerned. So maybe he's going to be back for the
Sydney
SAG test, but definitely, and if that's not the case, he'll definitely be back for the England tour. But I'm not sure what does it do to the confidence of the likes of Sarfaraz Khan and Dhruv Jurel. I think if you ask me, I think either of them should have played this played this test.
This whole theory of 3 all-rounders, okay, it's going to be put to the test tomorrow. Okay, you have to look at the holistic picture. Sure, one of the all-rounders, 2 of the all-rounders in fact, saved you in the first innings. If they cannot save you in the second innings, God forbid, if they cannot save you in the second innings, then this entire team selection was a fallacy. You have to call it like that. If you still pack players with 9 batters and still can't save a test match,
And still send a night watchman 20
and
minutes
still send a
before.
night watchman, what happened in the first innings,
9 batters in the team.
despite playing an irresponsible shot, even then they saved you. Even if you can't save a test match, I'm sorry, the 3 all-rounders bid that you picked, total ridiculousness that.
But even if it works for you, I think it's still wrong because you've been playing catch up because of that reason. I think you played 3 all-rounders. That's
Sure.
a very big reason they reached to 500 first in the first place. Otherwise, if you were playing a full-fledged, a little more stronger bowling attack, then I think the situation could have been very different. Just in the first place, I think you've been playing catch up because you had a little
But
depleted
Shashwat,
bowling
how would they
lineup.
change their bowling? You would have had your 3 fast bowlers, which they
Yeah,
played with,
yeah.
and 1 spinner in a Jadeja. That
Yeah.
would have been your bowling.
No,
So how would
no,
the
you could have
bowling
played in place of a Jadeja. Now Ashwin isn't there in that case,
No,
but you could have played.
But no, to be fair, nobody would have even doubted Jadeja not playing as your first spinner. I'm just saying. So, I don't think your bowling would have changed that much. Let's be honest. I think it impacts your batting. See, you still went with your 3 fast bowlers and your 1 spinner. Whether that's Ashwin or Jadeja, that was debatable. You could go
In
with
the
an
previous
Ashwin,
test
yeah.
match.
But here, I think they went with their best bowling lineup. It's just that they're filling their batting slots also with all-rounders, which is an issue, but not the bowling. So you went with your best bowling, and yet they got 400, and that I think is a reflection of the pitch so much, not really the bowling. The issue with that is, and I think that's the reason that, and that's what I was thinking, that Ashwin taking call in his retirement, and when we sat here and discussed that, obviously he felt hurt, this, that, whatever, various reasons. But I think now when I look at it, we know that he's quite a sharp guy, smart guy. And if you look at it, it was a very pragmatic decision. Not to say that he had reached the end of his career. He had not. But I think he had seen that in the current setup or where this Indian team is heading, that he's going to get too many chances. And he saw that with this fascination of all-rounders. So as soon as you pick this team, so I'm just saying, why did Ashwin leave in the middle? That time there was hangama. Because Ashwin knew that even if you're going to be playing 2 spinners, when is his chance to come and play? Is only when you're going to play 2 spinners. Single spinner, though Jadeja was starting anyway ahead. Now with 2 spinners also, he realized that they're going to only play all-rounders. I'm not going to get a chance. So what is the point of me hanging around? And I think that's why he exited. And I think this selection of this team, as soon as you announce, with a Washi playing, and I'm not blaming a Washington Sundar or anything like that. I mean, of course, he's trying to do the best that he can. He done well with the bat. But I think Ashwin saw the thought process of the management, where it's going. That all-rounders will be the thing. I'm only going to be in excess baggage. And how long will I just continue being an excess baggage? And he was right that he's a senior player. He can't no longer be disrespected like that, where you just carry. That's why he saw the writing on the wall. Next 2 test matches also it will be like. Because, we kept saying, what if SCG, you would have needed him. No, you wouldn't have played him. And he knew that. What would you have done? We need
Sundar.
batting. We need batting.
Correct.
We need batting. So Sundar, so he knew. Now 2 test matches, maybe MCG also we discussed, 2 spinners can play. We could have waited. No, he knew. Yes, 2 spinners will play, but
I won't be the one.
I won't be there. He moved out. And that's where is the problem with, I mean, not that he's complaining, heart of heart he would be hurt. We are complaining because, maybe a little bit more traditionalist in our thinking process and following what an Australia does, still going with specialists. But Indian cricket is moving away from that.
But again, on the Ashwin thing only, I would say, did the team also forget that you were talking about somebody, you're looking for batting ability in everyone, somebody with 6 test hundreds? There's no batting merit over there?
No, those teams mostly at home. No, see, again, I know that he can chip in with the bat and all, but I think they're going with proper. You see, truth be told, man to man, both Washi and Jadeja are far better batters than Ashwin. So I know Ashwin can contribute. So can Cummins, but Cummins will never.
But Washi
be
is
an
more.
all-rounder.
But the thing is, Washi is more potential even right now than something that we've seen concrete. We've seen a couple of good performances here and there, but what we're all banking on is a lot of potential in Washington Sundar.
No,
As a batter,
though,
yeah.
No
That as a
brainer.
batter.
I mean, even if you ask Ashwin, no brainer. Washi is a much better batter. He looks like a proper bat, and you can
Agreed.
make that out. So I think that's what the team is going with, the better bat, and I think he knew that.
No, but don't you think? I think just if your batting would not have been in this state that it is right now, and batters would have been in form, don't you think, seeing the conditions in MCG, that these are good batting conditions in that sense? You could have gone in with an extra bowler. It could have been 5+6 rather than 7+4.
Yeah, but they've gone with 6 bowlers.
Yeah,
no?
that
so
that
I'm just
is-
trying
but
to say
that is also because I think a very big reason for that is that you wanted to strengthen your batting while you also had bowling options, because you realize it's going to be a good batting option.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's no one right answer.
Yeah.
You're right. They went with that option, that where they can strengthen their batting as well as have 6 bowlers, because it's a flatter track where bowlers will have to do a lot of hard work, and they've tried to find the best balance eventually. And I think that's the team that they have played. I mean, truth be told, whether we agree or not, truth be told, we're heading into the final day and everyone's in the game.
Yep.
If you want to take daggers out against the Indian team, we'll have to wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
To do.
Because all 5 results are possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Draw,
Draw, tie.
win, loss, draw with scores level. That's also
Yeah,
happened.
I know, that is a result, yes.
It is a result. So
Yeah,
5
trust
results.
that to come up with one technicality.
Yeah. But then see, the momentum that you're looking at. See, now your 9 batter theory will be tested tomorrow. Okay. 9 batter theory, if you look at it, you're chasing 350 nearly or at that point or more.
But even if it works, is it right? Moving ahead, because this will just give more confidence
See,
going ahead to play 9 batters.
just like there is a debate on whether that shot from Rishabh Pant was irresponsible or not, the team management has gotten the right justification to go ahead with it. Because see, we managed to save the test match.
I think so that will depend on the result of this match
Exactly.
and the overall scoreline of the series.
Absolutely.
Chapan short
Not-
or
Arey, the
playing-
9 batter
nine
theory.
9 batter theory. Yeah.
Sui abhi bhi atki hai udhar hi. That Rishabh Pant thing. That's done. Yesterday it's over.
Yesterday, I'm guessing it was something that happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, I mean, yesterday was a very, very strange day. I mean, it began with Sunil Gavaskar calling
Stupid.
I also heard
Stupid.
another expletive, which I
And
can't say it
stupid.
on air. I mean, what Magnus Carlsen did, that was an expletive. So I was like, wow, that's a really strange day indeed. Heard stupid, heard an expletive, and that's why today.
what do you make of the Rishabh Pant shot? We had quite a long debate on it yesterday.
See, I
Heated
said
debate
it.
and long.
I said it that day as well when that test match, and you guys were also saying that's how he plays. Remember that first test match that he played, second innings, just first ball itself, trying to whack it out.
Bangladesh.
No, here.
Here.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Perth.
Perth.
One he did one auction day also. The day
that
of the
was Perth
auction.
only, no?
No. Yeah, that was Perth only. Yeah.
Perth
Auction day.
test
So,
match. Yeah.
so my point is this, that there's a lot of players, and I've been consistent. We did it for Joe Root and the English team also, and so why have different standards? There is a difference between being aggressive and foolhardy, and I think sometimes Rishabh Pant crosses that line. You cannot see. My point is, Gavaskar, when he said that, he also walked the talk when he was captain, dropped Kapil Dev for playing a bad shot like that. you know.
Eden Kolkata.
Yeah.
That time.
He got a lot of flack for it. My point is, and because with Kapil Paji also this came, na, that's the batter that he is. That is the style that but I'll give you an example. That's not always the batter that he is. In Tunbridge Well, when he got 175, he was quite careful to begin with. He knew that the conditions were not really ideal. You'd lost 5 wickets. He didn't come out and start hitting sixes from
But
there.
here the conditions were ideal.
Yeah, but you have to look at the team situation. No, you're a team man. My point is, it's not just about you. If you are playing a local club match also, and if you are an aggressive batter, you go out to bat and you get out like that. If I'm your captain, I'm going to throw the bat at you when you come back. I will definitely do that. Because you may be an aggressive batter, but today it's your job to go at number 6 and save my team.
Yep.
That's what I want from you. If you've
No.
played enough cricket. I
I
agree
think
that aggressiveness is fine. That's fine. That's how he scores his run. I'll give an example, and a good example is of Nitish Reddy. He's also a counter-attacking batter. Not as adventurous as Rishabh Pant, but he's not the grinder. He's not a Marnus Labuschagne or any of the, or a Virat Kohli who knows how to build test innings. He's not that. He's not the single. He will keep playing those attacking shots, right? But what did he do? When there were deliveries which he could not, Pat Cummins was bowling, he went through it. He did matrix, he did that. Let the ball go. Let the ball go. See, again, Rohit Sharma's shot was also exactly like that. Rohit Sharma is also an aggressive batter. But that was a stupid shot that he played to get out. The thing is that in a one-day game where you have no option, they only have to play one way, or the T20 game, you only play one way, I can understand. In test match, different situation need different things. Nitish Reddy, why I gave that example, in his case also, aggressive batter, very new age, attacking batter. But at that time he realized that the team was in trouble.
Even Jaiswal for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Team is in trouble. So certain balls I'm going to go. In my zone, my area, I'm going to go for it. In Rishabh's case, he missed the same shot, hit him in the stomach.
Yeah.
Right, you tried one, it's not coming off, it's not your day, you just take your time. He can play a fantastic cover drive, and you know what really frustrates me about Rishabh? It's that he's not a one-trick pony. He's such a good technical player that even in moving conditions, if he plays straight batted, cover drives, straight punches down the ground, he'll get runs.
He's very solid.
He has that ability in him. He doesn't have to do that. He can do it when he's on top of the game. Game is like, when you're rubbing salt into the wounds type situation, you've made a lot of runs, now you're troubling them. You are 200 run lead up, now you want to push that lead from 200 to 300, you have wickets in hand and he's batting at 80. Now I'm going to rub salt in your wounds. Now I'm going to hammer you here, there, deflate you. That's the situation he needs to go like that. Deflate the opposition then. But when you're a bit behind, you take your time, get some runs, get your 50s, 60s, settle your team a bit, then go for it. Whenever you can.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of such dismissals. For that matter, I feel nobody is going to be happy when you see those dismissals. And I will extend it. It's an extension of what Nikhil just said. Again, I'm not going to, as a team man, I don't have to be the captain, but I'm not taking that shot and that dismissal, especially in Test cricket.
As a teammate, I'm feeling let down.
I'm not taking that. I'm not taking. However, what has happened with Rishabh Pant is, and his heroics, especially overseas, have been such. He's pushed Indian cricket fans in a situation that, listen guys, this is how I get my runs and this is how I lose my wicket as well. You either take those runs, and if you're taking those runs, then you need to take such dismissals
take it
as well.
in T20 cricket.
So that's what's happened. No, in Test as well, his winning formula.
Yes.
His winning formula
exactly.
has been this.
But
So
you look
it's
at-
not like, so what he's not giving us as an option is that you take those runs as well, but don't take these dismissals.
see,
So he's saying you need to take
No,
both.
ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. He's got runs like this. Gabba when he got those.
That's what I'm getting to
So
that.
it will come out at
not like
times.
this. He took time. That's why I'm saying.
Had a
He started attacking.
conservative, proper
Correct.
approach.
And he had cover drive. He used his feet for the spinners.
Yeah.
But
so those are the
now
areas where he was
maybe
getting his runs
maybe
quickly.
he's been given that additional freedom perhaps
No,
by this,
look,
because Adelaide first ball he's dancing down the track.
That's what I said. That was
Both.
not good.
Adelaide as well, I remember. To Scott Boland he was charging.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he got out.
No, don't.
I have
don't.
just one thing to this. I feel that when Rishabh Pant, why he actually sort of broke into the team, the reason for that was that he's that X factor player. If we just go as far as match situation is concerned, if he starts playing as per match situations are concerned, then we would have never won the Gabba Test match last time we were there, because then match situation suggested we should have gone for the draw. But it was Rishabh Pant with that X factor knock that he went after that total, and we ended up winning that total. So when I know that he's somebody who is that X factor, I am okay with that, because as just going. See today also why the Australian team.
Shashwat in Adelaide 2014, Virat Kohli also plays conventional cricket. He also went for a win. There are ways to go for it.
But we
Nitish
didn't
Reddy-
end up winning that
Listen,
game, na.
So what? Yeah, that
But
was close.
that's why the X factor I'm saying. That's
No.
what Rishabh Pant actually gets in.
If you
That was
if you
no-
press
there
control
was
X,
nobody
no, you
else.
say X factor.
There were
means
other
cut.
people also who chipped in that Gabba win. That time it did not. I'm saying approach can be. Nitish Reddy, if you go on to salvage a draw or whatever, Nitish Reddy's batting was also helped to do it. I'm saying you can achieve that. You can do it in a different way. And in Gabba, by the way, this was not his approach.
Yeah,
That's
this
my
wasn't his
exact point.
approach, but this is what he gets into the team. And also today, if the Australian team are not ready to sort of declare at 300, a very big reason for that is Rishabh Pant. If you just take Rishabh Pant out of this team, Yashasvi and Rishabh Pant.
Nitish Reddy, yaar.
Now
You are batting till number 9. If you are the captain and if you declare,
I'm saying
and
a
if you
very big
lose,
reason. I'm
I
saying a
think-
very big reason for. Yeah, I'm not saying the
who knows?
only.
See,
I'm saying a
whatever.
very big
No,
reason
another
is Rishabh
reason
Pant.
Virat Kohli also. You may
Yeah.
not or I may
KL
not say
Rahul,
much about
Virat
it.
Kohli,
The
Rohit
Australian
Sharma.
team respects him. Or it takes a day for him to also get you those runs. And my point is this whole approach thing. John Wright caught hold of Virender Sehwag's collar in the dressing room.
Yeah.
For precisely this reason. You could not get away with just that approach. That is how I am. And that was still white ball cricket where you can still get away with that approach because there are multiple batters and anyway you need to keep the scoreboard ticking.
See,
Test
you
cricket-
say you keep on saying X factor, na? If you press control X, it means cut. That means your rope can also get cut. There are plans in place for opposition. Let me tell you one thing. It could have worked in 2017. It could have worked in 2021. It could have worked in 2019. Now you have been hurt a lot. Australia have been hurt a lot by Rishabh Pant. They will want to get plans. You already got a warning, boss. Once bitten, twice shy, right? Once bitten, no. Come on, I will still go for it.
That I agree with what even Sunil Gavaskar said, that if he would have gotten out on the first time itself, he would not have been that angry with the shot, but he just went after it for the second time. That, yeah, I do
See, the
agree with
gods
that.
are smiling
but see,
on him.
Rishabh Pant, it's a gamble with him and I'm ready to take
The
that
gods
gamble.
were smiling on him. I repeat again, the gods were smiling on him because you had a 127 run partnership between Washington Sundar and Nitish Reddy, which is why that has given you the chance that you are still somehow, by your barest of fingernails, are holding on in the BGT.
Okay, now let's get to today's day. I want everyone to answer this very philosophical question that I have. That where would Indian cricket be without Jasprit Bumrah?
Down in the pits.
Very philosophical.
Down
3-0?
in the pits.
No, in general.
Down in
3-0
the
right
pits.
now.
It would be 3-0.
Yeah.
Well, other bowler, whoever was
EGT.
replaced with him, picked up some wickets.
But
na?
still, it would have been 3-0. 3-0, you would not have even won a T20 World Cup. You would have been 3-0 here.
T20 World Cup, I actually agree with.
Yeah.
You would have lost that game to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Final
lost to
also.
final also.
Quite an to an
That was
quite
exactly
an.
my answer. Indian cricket would still have been waiting for an ICC trophy since 2011.
No, you even could have won one because
2013.
No, you would have won the 17 one, na, if Jasprit Bumrah wasn't there. Because
This
of the no
series-
ball.
This series.
That also I'm taking in
3-0.
consideration.
I mean,
3-0, very clear cut 3-0.
No, but see, you got to remember whoever would be playing instead of him would also be picking wickets. Not as many as Bumrah.
29 wickets. It would be tough for someone to
This is
replace.
his
think-
third
No,
5
so
wicket
the
haul
other
this
person
series.
would have had what, 12, 13, 14,
He's not yet taken the
15
5 wicket
wickets,
haul.
whoever.
This one. No, not here. Series.
15 wickets.
15,
Somebody
yeah.
would have picked it. So 14 wickets less. You know.
14 wickets less. Massive. Australia would not have been reduced to 67 for 7 on the first innings in Perth.
Yeah. I think it's because of Jasprit Bumrah that India's troubled transition in pace attack isn't being talked about much. He's performing
he-
that well.
Is he the biggest name in Indian cricket right now?
Absolutely.
Clear cut.
Hands
by a
down.
distance,
5.
by a margin.
Ahead of Rohit Sharma, the captain. Ahead of
Absolutely.
ahead of Virat Kohli.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
clearly.
he's the king.
He's the king. If there is a king in Indian cricket, it is Jasprit
You know,
Bumrah.
there's no doubting the fact that the years between 14 and not 14 per
13
se,
to 19.
but 16 to 19 were Virat Kohli's peak years. 15 also, let's add 15 to that as well.
I would say from 13 to 19.
So,
On cue here.
cameras allowed? Okay.
Surprisingly.
But
Isme there is no apatti.
I'll show you guys something after the show.
okay.
Fantastic.
But so there was
He
no
also been
doubt.
called out
But
somewhere.
No,
Then.
Thank goodness for that. Yeah.
there was no doubt who the best player was in those years. But now, if you to just change that filter to the last 3 years, I would say there's only one player that has dominated, and this those couple of years have belonged to. 2024, undoubtedly, there's one crazy stat that Isa Guwat said on Jasprit Bumrah about figures for a calendar year, which in the history of Test cricket is the best figures that Jasprit Bumrah has attained. Maybe Siddharth knows what I'm talking about. But anyhow, I think if the last 3 years in Indian cricket have belonged to anyone, there has been no bigger match winner than Jasprit Bumrah. You would not have won the World Cup. You would not have made it to the final of the World Cup as well if there was no Jasprit Bumrah. Will people forget? But T20 World Cup also would not have come if there was no Jasprit Bumrah.
I mean, look at it. I mean, normally we get our eyes glued when someone is hitting the ball so brilliantly, right? Through the offside, through the leg side. The audaciousness of the shots, it all keeps us glued in. Today, the spell that he bowled, if there were 30 batters in the team, he would have gotten all 30 out. Usman Khwaja's technique was being ripped to pieces. Steve Smith was looking clueless. Everybody was like, okay, he's bowling not Yorkers, he's not bowling good length balls, he's bowling grenades.
Yeah, and then I think the line and length that he's put now today, he's gotten, I think, the perfect. He is like sort of adjusted to it.
Left-hander, right-hander, on that spot. Everybody just has no clue.
That delivery to Alex Carey was unplayable.
I think there's a contest between the best ball of the match between Cummins to KL
Yes.
and Bumrah to
Alex Carey.
That Cummins to
Cummins
KL
to
also.
KL is a
Top
slight
of, no.
edge.
Yeah.
I know that Carey
That was unplayable.
Yeah, it was
coming in
undone.
and boom.
Exactly. But then see, he could have
Despite
gotten...
the trigger movement KL made, he still could not sort of cover the top of off.
Yeah.
Actually,
On-
that you just a batter has to say.
Exactly. Indian cricket... I had
Why
mentioned,
does only KL get such kind of deliveries?
I had mentioned...
changed.
When he's looking good.
I had mentioned in one of the videos, okay?
He has 150 in this in BGT till now, na?
Two.
One first Perth
Brisbane
and
also?
yeah, Brisbane
India's
also,
third highest run getter.
So, there is a phrase now, build the man a statue for Scott Boland. This guy deserves a statue in every stadium he plays. Jasprit Bumrah.
I'll tell you the one thing, of course, his art and the way he's been dismissing batters, and I think that has a lot to do with how he can get the ball to either go in or out with no visible change of action, and that angle that coming in and then suddenly moving makes it tough. But I think the one under appreciated aspect about Jasprit Bumrah's personality that we don't talk much about, and I think it just stood out today, is his horse-like work rate.
Yes.
Today 8 spells he bowled through the day, all short spells. He's already bowled 50 plus over in this particular test match. For a fast bowler who's expected to pick wickets, I think that is incredible. There was this one visual that I was watching where he was like totally, resting on his knees and I actually felt a bit of pity on him. Like, poor guy, he has to get up and keep bowling but he's been doing that. And that's one, can't be easy. And here's a player who has been susceptible to injuries in the past, and then to come out and bowl the way he has with his heart out. So, two things really, other under appreciated aspect. One is horse-like work rate, which he does, hard working will do. And secondly, how humble he is of his talents. Like, I saw that interview that
And
he
he
did with
walks the walk. He said, I could have dismissed Sam Constance 6-7 times, and today, what a pearler to get him out.
Yeah.
What a pearler. And that
And
is
then
why...
the celebration.
Yeah.
So I got a bit confused.
I know.
Bumrah is telling crowd
And
to
Siraj is telling them to be quiet. I mean,
So
I don't know.
Crowd is like, what do we do?
Just like
if
Melbourne.
we,
weather.
even if we just compare Virat's peak with Bumrah's peak, I still keep Bumrah a little ahead, a little, not too much, because of that impact that he's given. It's
you're right.
way too much.
No. Impact, because it's simple. If you look at match defining performances, then I think Bumrah will be higher.
Both in their peaks. I'm considering this to be Bumrah's peak because, and now suddenly I just remember what Kapil Dev quite often says. He says, more the bowler bowls, the better he gets. I think we as a generation in this, like with Jasprit Bumrah, fast bowlers, we've tried to be very overprotective with fast bowlers. But now just when I look at him, seeing him just miss one test match out of the last 9 test matches, I think that just makes a lot of sense to me because as a fast bowler, when you bowl more, the muscles that tend to sort of get injured, those also strengthen when you're bowling because a very specific set of muscles that are being used. So I think the amount of games that he has played, that has also helped him in fitness wise also, and as a rhythmic bowler as well.
See, you see the adrenaline pumping, right? When you see a great shot or when you see a great innings that's about to unfold, you're just glued. You feel like warm all over. The adrenaline's pumping. You're tense. You can't sit down. You're like, what's going to happen? You saw all that in that spell by Bumrah today. This is one of the most magical spells that is there in the history of the BGT. I mean, he's taken 200 wickets in 44 tests, 8,484 deliveries. That means he gets a wicket every 40 deliveries. Every 40 deliveries he takes a wicket. But look at it.
And the best strike rate for any bowler with 200 plus wickets.
Yeah, but look at it. Perth, had he not taken that spell, had he not taken those wickets, Australia would have overhauled India's total and they would have been in the seat. Brisbane, he got you back with that spell. Otherwise, Australia were going for 500, 550.
That's one of the major reasons why India's troubled pace transition isn't being talked about.
Yep.
It is because of Bumrah only.
Bumrah,
I think the same was the case with pretty much Zaheer Khan too.
Yep. See, Bumrah is like the bull who is trying to tow away a 2-ton carriage on just one wheel.
I think, Harshit will probably agree with this. It's more of a Punjabi thing. They're more like workhorses, just like both of us, probably. Three of us.
Yes.
But
Workhorses.
Three of us, yeah.
He's a generational talent. You don't say that for a lot of players. Jasprit Bumrah is a generational talent. I say it so often again on my groups and I think on the platform as well. He's a cheat code.
Yeah.
You are playing, test cricket again, it's difficult to put a number to it. You play him if he's in your side, the opposition's devoid of 4 overs, so the game becomes a 16-over game for the opposition. I would say the same for ODI. Again, the crazy stat, the one stat I don't just, I just can't get over is the fact that this is a man who in the shortest format of the game in the World Cup had a better economy than in the 50-over World Cup.
Yes.
So how do you beat that? How do you even sort of break that down? Batters across formats have decided not to just even, I think batters have decided, okay, this is a bowler we can't attack.
Yep.
This is a bowler we don't do anything to. We don't try to put him off rhythm unless your name is Sam Constance and you're as young as 19.
Or JK,
Sam
Fraser
Constance
McGurk.
was just his nemesis for the MCG first innings.
But
That's it.
whatever.
See.
But again, how many players have we seen really try to take the attack to Jasprit Bumrah?
I was just thinking about this. I just remember 2 names: Jake Fraser McGurk in that IPL game and Sam Constance.
games.
No, I'm just thinking that's why I have
If you look
to
at a
think so much.
T20I, Kane Williamson once in that
And
2020
one
series.
thing I remember again, it would that because I think it really set the tone for Australia's chase on the wretched day of the 19th was those couple of boundaries that he conceded in the first over.
15 runs
People
that
will
came.
not remember that.
But see, Jasprit
Rare.
Bumrah.
He got some unreal swing in that over.
Yeah. See, Jasprit Bumrah he's the one who deserves a statue in most venues. I mean, the only country where the cheat code hasn't worked and against the opponent that hasn't worked is New Zealand, surprisingly.
It's just been a couple of test matches. I think the history will change.
Can I say
6
something?
tests.
In New Zealand.
Overall
You're saying
also.
against New Zealand. Okay,
Overall.
okay.
We've come from that generation where we would get up to see a certain batter bat. On most days it would be Sachin Tendulkar. On some other days you would want to see the defense of a Rahul Dravid. You would
Viru.
also get up to see smashing, Viru smashing all over the park, or let's say those cover drives of Saurav Ganguly. You would get up for a batter if you knew this was the batter who's going to resume overnight, come the following day, etc. I don't quite remember a time, at least in my generation, that you would get up to see a fast bowler, an Indian fast bowler, bowl and just cast trouble on the opposition for every ball that he bowled. I was up this morning, and because he looked so good, the atmosphere in the stadium was electric. Again, I don't remember in the last decade or two.
Maybe for
I
us, 2008
saw such
Ishan
a spell.
Ponting Perth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, but that's just one
early in the beginning of
that
Ishan's
one
career,
series,
na?
Siddharth, that one series, 2008, when he was on top of Ponting And yes, it was exhilarating, but here you're almost guaranteed with every time Jasprit Bumrah is stepping on the pitch. It's not just about Melbourne. It's about wherever you put Jasprit Bumrah. Yes, things just look pretty when you're playing in England or in Australia, but Jasprit Bumrah just takes the pitch out of the equation and has been delivering magic to you.
I mean, five wickets in Perth.
Oh yeah,
Dale's-
best
I
in
was
the
saying
world.
Indian pace bowler.
Indian pace bowler.
Indian pace bowler.
Yeah. See, for example, 8 wickets in Perth. He took the pitch totally out of the equation there. 4 in Adelaide, he could have gotten more, but he didn't take. 9 in Brisbane. Now he's got an 8 here. Could have had a 9th, but he overstepped.
Can have a 9 tomorrow.
Can have a 9, but then still, despite all of that, 29 wickets. The last time a pacer took this many in a BGT was Ben Hilfenos.
Yes.
11. But overall, when you look at India-Australia contest, it's Craig McDermott with 31. Overall, it's Bhaji who leads the table with 32 in that epic 2001 series. But Bumrah is, I've always maintained it, Bumrah is the reason why you're still 1-1 in the series. No one else has even stepped up.
You would have been 3-0 by now, for sure.
Exactly. So that is why you have to build Bumrah a statue. As simple as that, wherever he goes. So
I am saying build him a statue, declare him national treasure, put him in a bank, just do anything and everything. Give him the Khel Ratna already. Give him.
don't start that. Don't start
This is the
that.
first time I've seen a bowler.
What if there's a lapse in his
Application.
application? Yeah.
There's 1.4 billion who will fill it for him.
Exactly. Exactly. So is it
We
now-
also have a statue of Steve Smith at Wankhede. Okay, let's just get to the Shivam Giri segment.
Yes. So this is the one thing. Reason why Cummins didn't declare.
And that's
the
absolutely
innings.
correct.
They were ever underestimated Indians. Yes, I mean, see, logically, you don't want to give 1% also.
You can't. It'll be foolhardy. I remember saying this even before the declaration had come at Brisbane that I had a sneaky feeling Australia would take that chance, and it was unsafe for a captain. That was a dangerous territory to enter. That declaration. That of course, rain then sort of came.
275 and 54
But you
overs,
were risking things over there.
Yeah.
Here as well, again, because of the true nature that this pitch still has, again, it's been the Melbourne, like we were discussing of the past, the traditional Melbourne cricket. You're not risking. You are not risking. Ideally, anything around 350 is sort of, because you don't see, even if a team's in form and is playing quote unquote aggressive cricket, bass ball, jazz ball, whatever you want to say, you will get to 310, 320.
Yeah.
That is also when you're, hitting on all cylinders.
Correct.
If you're not able to do that, then you'll, end the day with about 280, 300 runs. But anything in excess of 300, you need to be firing on all cylinders, and that doesn't happen that often.
Correct. So that is why I would say that it gives me vibes of Adelaide 2014. 364, one day, go ahead, chase it. They came close, 350.
You need to play proper test cricket. I think more than someone scoring a Virat Kohli like 100, I think someone needs to play an anchor role like Murli Vijay tomorrow.
Let's see. Maybe KL Rahul's the guy who can do it. So
Maybe.
Let's see. To all those who disrespected DSP Siraj in the first innings, please fill the apology form to save yourself from an FIR. I'll hold my comment on Mohammad Siraj just now. Okay. He finally came in and gave support to Bumrah today. 4 tests later, but finally he's here.
Once more, even in Brisbane, he was.
No,
he
I
took
mean,
wickets.
see, Brisbane, he was too
See, even in
inconsistent.
See, he has
Perth
been inconsistent
also.
throughout actually.
Yeah, that's the thing. Today he was consistently good. Today, that one spell, you needed 2 guys to wreck the team in tandem. and Bumrah-
3 wickets and 10 deliveries.
Yeah. Jasprit Bumrah after bowling 9 spells in a day. थक गया हूँ, चैन से सोना चाहता हूँ. This is from that Anil Kapoor film.
Yeah, Nayak.
Nayak,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah. As I said, he's like the bull who's carried a 2-ton carriage on just one wheel. That is Jasprit Bumrah for you. And that's why, let's see how that happens. The last wicket lasted longer than 18% GST on caramel popcorn waiting for the last wicket.
Good one.
This is perennial problem in India.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This has been a huge problem. I mean, we look at it, Venkatesh, I don't know in which movie that is. So, Travis Head ko birthday bumps de diye. Well, it was not a good birthday for Travis Head.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let's make it very clear, because 0 and 1, it's just not happening.
This is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Labuschagne's luck is infinitely
We've
won
been
by
tagged on this
Akash.
one by one of our family members.
Akashdeep
Thanks, Austin.
actually deserves more wickets than what he has got in this match.
Yeah, everybody, by that logic, if you look at it, everybody should take 40 wickets. No? It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, yeah.
It doesn't work. Unfortunate, yes, but Labuschagne had more luck, but then his luck also ran out at this point in time. So, yes, it was not good at all. But then tomorrow's another day in that sense. So, let's take a look at the comments. I mean, there's far more of them today. And, okay. Okay. Okay, Aisha is saying to me, 2 days back.
Sidvi accused Sachin of ball tampering in South Africa. Said he was the culprit, but was saved by the BCCI and fans. What is the evidence of that accusation?
If I'm not
And I'm
wrong,
second, if there is no evidence, what is the difference between Sidvi and Park analysts who make wild statements like India is using chip
okay,
in balls?
Siddharth,
to
before
swing?
you answer this thing, I think I was there a part of this discussion. I think Siddharth said he did not just blame Sachin Tendulkar. I think it was
The
the
whole-
Indian cricket team as a whole that he
Yeah.
talked about.
So, Aisha, I know that you are totally in all these kind of things.
Off the mark.
You're totally off the mark. I mean, see, go back to Port Elizabeth 2001. Okay? Sachin was scrapping the seam with his fingernails.
It was like this, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
It was like this.
Without informing the umpire. Clear ball tampering. Rahul Dravid has also been caught ball tampering, remember, in Sydney 2004. But that time he was fined. He was fined because he admitted to it. The bubble gum, the mint bubble gum that he was having fell on the seal.
Yeah.
That's why he had to remove it. So, unlike the persons that you're quoting, I very well know from where you're coming from. I use facts, my friend. The persons that are there, they never speak anything factual. Let's make one thing. They just shout, they rant. I shout, or if you think I rant, I do it with statistics and facts. I was there, 2001. I had seen the ugly
Who
nature.
said the ball, chip in the ball, do not shout. Those are different.
Yeah, that is different. Yeah, they don't talk sense. They don't talk fact.
Sure,
To
let's
listen
go
to them only is a big pain.
Shubham Garg has a comment. Sad to see Siraj not being mentioned along with Bumrah today. I think we did that. I don't know whether panel is ready to bash Siraj at first chance.
Shubham, maybe this was a comment
Yeah.
that was made by you
Yeah.
earlier.
Very
but,
earlier, yeah.
I'm sure you have forgiven us by now.
Yeah. I was waiting to go to the washroom when Lyon got out. I went. Came back to see him still playing. Well, it was a no ball, my friend. Shivam, you're going to say something? What happened? Yeah. He had to inform the umpire. That was the one thing he fell foul of.
Shubham Garg is saying, Shashwat, what about your Bumrah versus Constance statement? What was that?
I think that he played him really well, and I said, and he cracked him in the sense that
You
he cracked the
said you
code to
cracked.
play him.
Ah.
In that sense, I said.
I think
as far as-
That
that
was
time we all
premature,
told
yeah.
you.
And no, and that time I did not mean that he cracked him in the sense that he knows how to go after a Jasprit Bumrah. What I meant was that he has studied him really well and sort of came out with the plans, because with that angle, that's the only way you can go about Bumrah.
Yeah, Danush is saying Nitish more overseas test hundreds than Gill, Yuvraj, Dhoni, same number of test hundreds as Rohit and Sena. Funny, Sid picked Slogger, Pant ahead Shreyas.
He's talking
20.
about me, yeah.
But same number of test hundreds as Rohit and Sena.
The Rohit also.
Rohit has more hundreds in England. 2. Right, doesn't he have 2? Or he has only 1? I think he has only 1. That's same.
One then, yeah.
One.
So
England.
one, equal.
He has not got 100 in New Zealand. He
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
100 in
One.
No South Africa.
No, South Africa, yeah. Australia also he doesn't have. Shubham Garg, imagine if catches today were dropped by VK, KL, Shashwat would have torn them apart. He said we should keep quiet on Pant failures because Rocco is failing. It's a long debate, Shubham Garg. We have already had a very heated debate on it. I'm not going back there all over again. So Sharan is like saying,
Shivam?
Sharan is like, I didn't criticize you for your post, Nick Bhai. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that. Mr. Shekhar GTN from the US is saying, morning all. Morning to you too. Yeah, I'm also operating on New York time at this point in time. Enough with this Rohit captaincy and with the bat, for God's sake. One good England series 3.5 years back, and with England coming with low-level bowlers on Indian roads, this man with poor Sena stats made it to Oz. Well, that debate will always continue at this point in time. I love mutton biryani. Bowlers gave their all, no complaints. Last 3 wickets can hurt. But pitch isn't that bad. All 3 possible. Shashwat, don't justify everything. Everyone can be wrong.
What is it? What's the reference of this?
What is the difference?
I don't know.
You don't know? Fine.
What the reference? Because I tried to defend 2-3 things. Na?
Nitish, I think it started with
Nitish
Nitish Reddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that selection 8, 9, 10 in that sense. Rakesh Bhushan is telling me, dear Sid, stop calling tail-enders. All are semi-batters. They have shown resilience, ready to take body blows, and they don't surrender themselves. Gone are the days when number 8, 9, 10 are walking wickets. But yeah, tail-enders is tail-enders. You would call a middle order a middle order.
You say
Yeah.
A top order is a top order.
yeah, it's like the top and the tail. So the top is the top, the tail's the tail, and the tail wags at times, and at times it doesn't.
Everybody can be Don Bradman. Everybody can be Chris Martin. Let's just understand that. But there are certain terms in cricket. You call mid-wicket, mid-wicket. You don't call mid-wicket extra cover.
I think in front of Mitchell Stark, all are tail-enders.
Tail-ender, there were only 2 that I remember. Courtney Walsh and Chris Martin. That's it. Praneeth Datta. Let's hold our horses on that. Yeah, maybe you're right in that sense, yes. Praneeth Datta. Nikhil, good to see that you have accepted your mistake in analyzing Nitish as a batter. He can do the Marsh role for India. Bat at 6, bowl of yours. But boss, Marsh role currently Australia must be cursing. Why on
No,
earth are we
that's
doing
exactly
this?
what I am also trying to say. He can be your in the top 6, but because again, if you count him as an all-rounder, there will be a day you'll drop him suddenly on the basis of his bowling skill. That will be very wrong on him.
Yeah. Sarthak Arya is like saying a win for India unlikely tomorrow. Oz winning 80%. However, I was surprised to see Pat not declare since 250 plus. Hasn't been chased in MCG in 63 years. It's
I
Oz
think
game
let's
to
go
lose
back
from
to
him, but
the
draws
point
him.
that you and Shashwat made, that you don't even want to give India a 1% chance.
See, Australia will want to know. See, they didn't enforce the follow-on after Kolkata. Okay, that whole concept went away. Now they conceded 328 in Gaba. But admitted, the Gaba wicket was different, the MCG wicket is different. You don't want to give 1 quarter because remember, 2 teams that are there, both are eyeing not just BGT, they're eyeing WTC final also.
Yeah.
And Australia will not want to cook their bowlers. They would want to give them only say 90 overs tomorrow. Then go all out for the win,
And I
because
think
the turnaround time for Sydney is also
Is
very
very
less.
less. And I think this is one thing that maybe we haven't discussed about. Mitchell Stark is carrying a niggle, so Australia may
Yes.
not be at full strength.
But no, I think you can.
No, it's
Boland
very
mentioned-
minor.
Very minor. He's
minor,
fine. He
yeah.
will pull through. So that's why. Agreed. 250 hasn't been chased for 63 years. In fact, the highest ever chase is 332, which India will now have to overcome. But why even give a quarter? Because there's a very short turnaround period for the 5th test also. Ashish Dhar. Bumrah is a genius. 19.84 average, better than the likes of Malcolm Marshall. Absolutely. This is the stat I think you are pointing out, right? Yes, 19.84 average. Jaiswal efforts in field disrupted all good momentum. India can go for a draw. Absolutely. It is. See, Jaiswal had a bad day. So that's why I would just look at it. No one got serial. Don't listen to trolls. I live away from home since MBA days. In 2020, listening to you guys like talking to friend. Sad trolls have nothing productive in life, so they hide behind phone. Absolutely, no one got serial. Trolls are bad. Trolls should be totally whitewashed from the face of this earth. Absolutely. Sridhar Savaikar, hats off to Bumrah, man, what a special bowler he is. Guys, please do dedicated dugout discussing Bumrah and his numbers across formats. Impact Vary stands in all-time list of India bowlers, also world. Sridhar Savaikar, no dugout for this year, please. Because all of us agree, he is the GOAT. Simple. One statement enough. He is a freak. He is a GOAT. He is a cheat code. And that's no need for a dugout. Crick and Chips send us a lot of love and chips also, so thank you so much. Rishabh genius. There is no chance of India win. Tomorrow it will be very hostile environment. Lots of sledging, bodyline bowling and extreme booing by crowd. India is up against it and Oz will do anything to win. Let's wait.
India just need 2 of their senior batters to step up. That's it.
That's it. Yep.
That
Enough
should be
said.
okay for a draw.
Yeah. Venkat. Nikhil is the only one.
Even if it's a draw, I think it's going to be a massive achievement.
But still, I mean, you could have done much better. Considering you're 91 for 6.
Yeah.
Venkat, Nikhil is the only one who analyzes a neutral view even when wrong. Rest all panel are either biased or egoistic to live in denial of their choices.
Feedback well taken.
Well taken, Mr. Venkat. Praneeth Datta, how good was Siraj Sid? Can he sledge now as he took wickets? However, Praneeth Datta, let me tell you one thing. He came to the party now after 4 tests. After 4 tests. I'll still hold my thing because, see, even here, and if he doesn't do well in Sydney, you will just take that one particular instance and then say, oh, Siraj shouldn't do it. See, today he did it. He had the better of Steve Smith. He trolled him at that time. Fine. But the previous 2 instances, if you are justifying it, then there is something seriously wrong. You cannot justify what happened with the Travis Head. You cannot justify the Sam Constance thing when you are not on top. Shubham Garg. Second test was South Africa in 2021. India was 160 for 4 in second innings. Pant came charging down the track to Rabada on first ball and got out, collapse triggered. I think it was Johannesburg, right? Second test of 2021. Yeah, that's why you have to. Ashish, the India defensive post T as unsure to chase even 270.
Exactly.
Let's hold our horses for 5 a.m. tomorrow because I think Australia will bat for another half an hour. Rakesh Bhushan, 315 plus. Oz didn't give Indian half an hour to bat. That is the fear factor. Had Oz not lost wicket, they would have feared declaring anything less than 400. Why don't you call a timid approach from Cummins rather than anything else? Rakesh Bhushan,
I think it's rather a safe approach.
Yes.
sometimes Rakesh Bhushan,
Safety first.
you have to change with the times. This is not the Australian team under Steve Waugh. Okay. However, when that happened in Brisbane, you lost, and that is why. Understand one thing: Australia want to win this Test match, or they want to head into Sydney on even terms. They are also looking at one more series after this. Look at the turnaround period. 3 days. Think as a captain, not as a individual. Don't think as a fan or think as a cricketing captain. I have got resources, but my turnaround time is weak. I'm looking at WTC final, plus I'm looking at BGT. How do I utilize it? Leadership comes from there. And Cummins, we all know how astute a captain he is. WTC winner, World Cup winner. Need I say anything more? So, Ashish there, Lakshman or Sachin, who played one better? One word answer here, who played? Who? Lakshman or Sachin, who played one better? Gulati?
Lakshman?
I still liked Sachin.
I haven't seen much as in live, but yeah, whatever I've seen, I think Sachin.
I think Lakshman towards the latter part of Vaughan's career, I think Lakshman played him better.
I would say Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, my friend.
Especially with those plans of losing his leg.
Exactly.
Yeah, whenever.
Of course, Lakshman was genius.
Yeah.
Nothing can top Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, my friend. Ritvika Reddy from the US. I'm so glad Nitish Kumar Reddy proved Shashwat Nikhil wrong and justified his place in the 11. As a batter, yes. As a bowler, let's wait. Let's wait and watch.
And the problem again, I'm saying people the way at least I can talk for myself. I would have talked about Nitish Kumar Reddy. It was just because of the combination you were playing and the position he was playing, and that was the all-round position. Still, if you continue to do that, you'll still sort of do harm to his career, because then suddenly one day you'll drop him on the basis of the fact that he cannot bowl. Now it's better that you treat him like a batter and continue to play him like a batter. That would be better, with Nitish Reddy's bowling being a bonus.
Piyush Nandre, India will lose points to slow over rate.
No, I don't think
Might
so.
No, they could. Australia have lost points. Because
Yeah.
of slow
Might
over,
happen. And Melbourne, let us understand one thing. In Melbourne in 2021, Australia could have reached the final ahead of New Zealand. But that didn't happen because
Yeah.
Australia were docked 3 points.
Correct.
And that's how New Zealand could scrape through. Otherwise, they were not going to scrape through. So that's why it's not looking good at this stage. Overrate points deduction could happen. But one eye will also be on Centurion. 121,
yes.
7 wickets. If South Africa win, you have your first World Test Championship.
Pakistan still, I think, have a chance.
Mathematical
Pakistan,
chance.
no.
Not to qualify for the final.
I mean,
Winning the match.
Anything can happen. Mohammad Abbas at this point in time, he made the ball talk. But remember who's there? Lord Timber.
Oh,
He has been in prime form, and on difficult wickets, Aiden Markram has stepped up. Who can forget that Cape Town 100 that he hit? Aiden Markram.
India.
Yep. So, see, Pakistan will have all to do, but their bowling attack can be confident. 3 wickets down, 121, 7 wickets. Ooh, it's going to be very tense. South Africa can afford a loss though. But if they lose Cape Town, South Africa are eliminated from the WTC final. And then Sri Lanka, Australia and India will all have chances to go through. So that's why it all boils down to tomorrow. What a humdinger we are going to end up with in 24, my friends. Indian chess has ended on a high. Will Indian cricket end on a high in 2024? Let's look at it. So we have got a lot more videos. Lot more videos are coming up. Sunil Gavaskar is going to give his exclusive inputs to Sports Today. You do not want to miss that out. And
The press conferences
will also be uploaded, and we'll also be back with Pakistan, South Africa also. Whoever wins that. So from me, Harshit, Sid Gulati, Shashwat, it is bye-bye. See you soon for more videos, and subscribe. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Yeah, you don't subscribe, guys. Come on, just needs one tap. That's it.